Quick tip on how to set the datum and repeatability when you're working with jigs on your CNC. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got 5 blocks set up. I've created a custom jig for those that need to be machined. Each one of these blocks needs to have all 4 faces machined 5mm. We've got a pocket to do in them. And I don't know if you can see on the desk over here in the corner, I've got 80 blocks to do at the moment. I need the machine back next week to work on another job, and then I will have another 100 and something blocks to do in a week or 2. Obviously, I don't want to rebuild the jig because that's going to be an absolute pain. I've got half a sheet's worth of MDF in here. Everything's set and perfect, and it would just be easier if I can hoik the jig off, put it back, and get everything sorted in the same place. So this is my little tip for you to be able to do that. Now, so this is the showstopper, right? This is the most important piece of the puzzle when we're doing this. Now, what I tend to do is before we do anything, obviously my jig's all set up, we need a 0 mark, okay? And that 0 mark there, can you see that little indentation? That is from the tip of this. Now, what can happen when you're working is if you turn the machine off, you turn your computer off, exit out of Mac 3, occasionally the settings for where the 0 are completely shot. Or you might have set the 0, turn everything off, and it not be a problem, but then you've accidentally moved the machine or something like that. And, you know, for something like this, when I'm working with 10mm margins on it, I can't screw that up because we've got plates going in there, and yeah, it's just gonna be an absolute pain. So what I do is I'll turn the CNC on, I'll set the 0, I'll then lower it down just a tiny amount, just so the very tip, just the tip of the V-carb bit goes into the jig material. Then what I know is I know that every time I need to reset the 0, like I needed to do this morning, I can just line that up, tag it on the machine, so set my 0s, and we're good to go with that. Now, the other thing that's really important, obviously on this jig specifically, is we're using the entire bed. For anybody that's used a large CNC knows, what can happen is you can do the majority of your work down this corner and nothing down this corner. So this corner, the spoil bed basically, tends to get a little bit more worn down than the rest of it. Now, this isn't a massive thing. However, if we're talking like, I don't know, so we're going to machine down 5mm at this end, and then we get down to this end, but this end all the way over here sits maybe like 2 or 3mm higher than we could be machining down 7-8mm. Obviously, that's going to be an absolute pain. It doesn't make the job repeatable, and nothing's going to fit the way that we need it to fit. So what I tend to do is this. Okay then, so what I will tend to do is I will tend to set the 0 on my first block. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something with a consistent thickness. Now that might be hardboard, MDF, some metal, alley, steel, whatever it is, doesn't matter. It just needs to be a consistent thickness. We're going to set our 0 using that piece of hardboard, MDF, whatever it is, in there to begin with. Awesome. So now, as far as the machine is concerned, the 0 is the top of this material plus this thickness. So what we can do is I can lower the machine down to 0. So we put this in there, and we're just sort of dragging, nothing major, just sort of dragging. So then what we can do, move the machine over to the next block. Right, and we're just sort of dragging again. Awesome. Check it again, and we're the same. We'll do that all the way along, just to make sure that we haven't got any issues. Now this one isn't dragging at all. However, in reality, what are we talking? We're talking maybe like 1/4 millimetre, something like that, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. It's just about making sure that these are all at a consistent height. So let's shoot right down to the end. Yeah, so we're not too bad there, so let's readjust that tension on that. And so we're just dragging again. So with that, I'm happy. So as with everything when you're machining, repeatability is everything, right? Repeatability is key. And so that's why we need to make sure that all the way over this end, I need to screw that up, all the way over this end, all the way to this end, everything is going to be exactly the same in exactly the same place. Because like I said, you know, that job where we've got 100, there's 4 faces, that's 400 pockets we need to machine in there. But yeah, just a little hint and tip from me. Let me know how you do it differently below, or would you agree? Do you think I've done it the right way or the wrong way? Or do you foresee any problems with what I've done? All right, you let me know. You have a great day. You take it easy.